In my view, it's very important to recognize that design is not neutral and that our decisions have a political dimension to them. By political, I mean expressing our beliefs about the universe or how we see the ecosystem, who is being affected, who is being empowered, and who is getting benefits from what we are creating. I think it's very important to think about policy and ethical thinking beyond who is interacting with what. This project is based on interactional design through exploration, sensing, perception, and interaction with nature and life forms. I find that really changing the way I think about what interactional design means today. When we think about climate change or global environment, it's important for us to consider beyond human-centered and think about all life forms and how we can use effective properties that the nature give us as examples of inhabitation and survival methods. Of course, we cannot compare humans to sea creatures' way of living, but there are ways in which these marine animals can teach architecture to connect better with nature through resilience and adaptation. Their ability to move in harmony with the currents of life reveal to us how to flow with the natural forces of Mother Earth. The beautiful transparency and the powerful sting of the jellyfish is a representation for us of what it means to be transparent and vulnerable yet strong, beautiful yet poisonous. The Serenity Venom represents the juxtaposition between vulnerable structures and strong impact. The jellyfish glows when a bacteria reacts with oxygen, releasing energy and emitting light. A green fluorescent protein absorbs the blue light of the environment and emits green instead. The same phenomenology can be applied to the light system of the building by giving the opportunity to interact with the daylight in order to emit light back at night. Its unique lighting technology could potentially change how the seaside developments are lit in the future. The glowing bacteria-powered natural lighting solution is designed to dramatically reduce CO2 and light pollution. It appears transparent during day and has a luminescent light during night. It is dependent of the environment light, just as the bacteria luminescent ability at the reaction or contact with another element. The interactional design is based on the codependent qualities between the build and nature. The entire process results in glow-in-the-dark lighting technology that not only requires no electricity to run, but once combined with a transparent shell, the biolights can also be manipulated to form almost any shape and can be stuck through the silicone pipes completely wireless. Based on the idea that, like the sea creature coexists with its environment, these domes can operate as a mutable layer skin or deep surface that mediates the internal and external environments. It becomes symbiotically integrated with the ecological processes of its site, so the outer surface can form a transition featuring a translucent membrane. The envelope can act not just as a physical enclosure, but as an active membrane that interacts with its exterior through the light emitted. Built by steel, silicon, and glass aesthetic, it embraces light and reflectiveness. The curvilinear form of the structure reiterates its sense of natural fluidity and movement, and challenges traditionally orthogonal industrial architecture. Ultimately, the structure seeks to understand how we ought to integrate ourselves with nature. I find hope in the principle that in nature there are no hard boundaries or edges. Materials merge together seamlessly. Perhaps through the emulation of nature, we will come to live more symbiotically with it, and our environments will become both closer to nature and less invasive to it. Architectural news cycle reflects on ongoing preoccupation with the mindful creation of habitable places in the landscape. The relationship of man to nature and of architecture to the landscape is continuously renewed, and architecture built within the natural landscape represents a certain kind of poetic exploration as well as a renewed perspective on the human scale. The current architecture in the landscape is the product of a specific view of the relationship between human beings and nature. More than ever today, there is an awareness of the landscape as a precious heritage that architecture can and should enhance while protecting it to be passed on to future generations. Therefore, in this project, given the unique and sensitive nature of the site, the key design priority was that the existing landscape and organic forms should take precedence over any building. Any development located on this site should not compete with nor distract from the natural attraction of the cliffs themselves, but to highlight it and integrate with it.